Hello my fellow Darklings and welcome to my channel where I mess about with arty and creative things. If that's your jam then please consider subscribing. In today's video I'm going to be recreating this picture of a skull with flowers. Today I'm using an A5 Faber Castel mixed media pad, golden heavy body acrylic paints, an Umber 4 round paintbrush by the Silverbrush company, and a detail brush from the art Sherpa. Started off creating this by sketching out the design and the placement of my objects, and then going over everything with my first layer of paint. I've been really enjoying painting in this notebook. I normally paint on canvas, and I think I've been really enjoying the smoother texture of this paper. Today's video was supposed to be a flip through of my acrylic April, but unfortunately I didn't complete that. At some point I will get round to finishing the acrylic April challenge, but I don't know when that's gonna be. The reason I didn't finish the acrylic April challenge was, unfortunately, in April I lost my sister, and this painting is actually a painting I have created for her. She really liked skulls and stuff like that. I was quite jealous of the decor she had in her living room. She had some cool skulls and swords and knives and stuff like that on the walls. And the flowers are actually a combination of the flowers that were laid on her coffin. I think she would have really loved this painting. She didn't die of coronavirus or anything like that. Her family has a history of polycystic kidney disease. Unfortunately, I lost my mum 8 years ago to the disease. All my brothers and sisters have it. My grandma had it, and it's a possibility that my nieces and nephew will have it. I am lucky enough not to have it, so my family joke that I'm spare parts. One of the side effects of having polycystic kidney disease is that you're more likely to develop aneurysms. My sister had developed aneurysms that she was unaware of, and in January 2019 one of those aneurysms ruptured, causing her to have a brain seizure. She was in intensive care for a long time, but she did manage to pull through. For the next 16 months she battled trying to get back to normality, but she was left with some severe disabilities, and sadly on the morning of the 15th of April she had another seizure. She was taken into hospital, and by the end of the day she was gone. She was only 46. My sister was a really amazing kind of woman. I know that when people lose someone that they love, they always say how great they were, but she really was. She used to call herself Mary Poppins. She said she was practically perfect in every way, and she really was. She was the kind of person who would do anything for anyone, whether they needed practical help or emotional help. She was always there. Her door was always open. My sister was 11 years older than me, and when I was born and very little, she looked after me a lot. She moved out when she was 16 as she got married and had her first child, but I would always go over and visit all the time, so we were really close. But to be fair, she was close to all of her family. She always loved having family around, and she even joked that if she ever won big on the lottery that she'd buy a whole street for us to live on. I think that may have been a little too close for comfort for most of us though. Over the years she gained many friends through her kindness and her generosity. She also had a real wicked sense of humour. because of everything that's going on lately with the lockdown and everything, we weren't able to give her a proper send-off. There was only 10 of us at her funeral, which was really sad, and I know there was so many more people that really would have loved to attend. So we're hoping that when we're all let out again, that we can have one massive party, which she really would have loved. She loved a good party. When you lose someone who's close to you, it really does make you think about your own mortality. I know one thing that upset me quite a bit was I couldn't think of any songs that she would have wanted playing at her funeral. Luckily though, her children and her husband picked some cracking songs that I know she would have absolutely loved. Though I don't think I'll be able to listen to Ed Sheeran's Supermarket Flowers again without bawling my eyes out. I think we don't talk about death and funerals and what we want to happen once we're gone enough, but I think it's really helpful to know what a person's wishes are before they're gone, so that when it does come to having to plan a funeral, you have a better sense of what they really would have wanted. It just makes the whole process a lot easier, and that's why I've decided I'm going to be planning my own funeral. I've no intention of going anywhere for quite some time, but you never know when your day's going to be up. The video did cut out at one point, but luckily I didn't go too far before I realised. Not only do I find painting relaxing, I also find it helps me with my thoughts, process everything. Thought a lot about her, so it really has been beneficial painting this painting for my sister. And I think it's important that you always talk about your loved ones, even if it is painful to talk about them. Put this design together using some photos of the flowers that were on my sister's coffin, and also a stock image of a skull that I found on Unsplash. And then pieced all the elements together using some photo editing software, and then printed out the design. It's really good to use reference pictures. I know that whenever I use a reference, I know my artwork always turns out a million times better if I use a reference rather than recreating something from my memory. I have heard people saying that using a reference is cheating, and I think that is insane. Then again, I do hear a lot of parent art rules that you're not supposed to break, and it's like, as long as it's not harming the paint, there isn't a rule that you can't break. Well, this is my finished piece. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out loads. And if you would like to see more from myself, then please consider subscribing. I upload every Tuesday at 7 PM UK time. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.